It's special guest time, and so pleased to be finally able to get this young man to join me via Zoom. But I've only been after him since 1991, but we finally got him. It's Chesney Hawkes. Chesney, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. It's lovely to be with you.
Yes, nice to have you along. Now, you're back out on tour again, aren't you, in March? Starting at the
Yes.
Komedia just up the road in Bath.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In fact, because I'm off to Germany tomorrow, so I've got all that to start with. So it's kind of like a European tour, and then followed by a big old UK tour, right up and down the country. So yeah, I'm excited, really excited. And Bath apparently is the Komedia is an amazing venue, so I'm really looking forward to
Well,
that.
funny enough, the last time I was at the Komedia, I was with your mate Nik Kershaw. So,
Oh, beautiful! I was with Nick last couple of days ago.
right, yeah. Again though, he always speaks very fondly of you as well. If you see him in concert and he's talking away, he will always praise you up to the limits. So,
I
I keep
know.
expecting you to come bursting through the curtains at the side of the stage when
Oh
he's.
well, it has
When he's
happened a
talking.
few times. If I'm in the area or whatever and he's playing, I'll always come up and we'll do a little rendition of the one and only or whatever, and vice
Yeah.
versa. He's obviously he'll jump up with me and do a guitar solo here and there.
Yeah, because he has actually contributed to the new album as well, hasn't he?
He
Or the
has.
album
I
that came out
mean,
last year.
yes, exactly. I still say that's the new album.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, Nick's always been. He had his hand in my career one way or another, and him and I have written hundreds of songs over the years, and he's my longest running co-writer and musical mentor. So he
yeah.
has to be part. It's kind of like he's my lucky rabbit's foot. He has to be. So he's got three
He is.
songs on Living Arrows.
Which I mean, we've supported all the singles that have come from the album here.
Wonderful. Thank you
Uh,
so
uh,
much.
but they sounded great anyway on the radio, and
Yeah.
it's it strikes me from a listening point of view that actually you've really rediscovered your love of playing and being in the studio and recording and making
Yeah.
new music and so on. Because I felt for a while there was a bit of a lull, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a
And
bit of a break. It's been 12 years since my last album. So,
yeah,
but I was in Los Angeles for that whole time. And I was kind of like, writing and producing for other people and different projects and things like that. And I had been gathering songs
yeah.
during that time, I guess. But and a lot of them have ended up on this record. So yeah, I'm very proud of this album because it's quite a personal album as well. And I think it's probably probably the best work I've done, well, certainly since the early 90s.
Yeah. Well, as I say, it genuinely is a really, really good album. I mean, you think Get a Hold of Yourself, which actually got picked up by quite a lot of stations actually up and down the country, didn't it? Which must have
Yeah,
been nice
yeah,
for
it
you.
was pretty much A-list everywhere, really. It was
Yeah.
it was just one of those songs. I mean, I can actually say that it was a legitimate radio hit.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, other tracks we play, Loud springs to mind as well.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
you doing a load of stuff around Loud at the time. And there's been a couple of other singles since as well. I'm sat here now and I'm going to have to
Yeah,
be able to edit this in afterwards. Go, oh, yeah, it was Nobody But You. As
Nobody
one of the
Like
ones.
You,
Nobody Like You. It was close.
and Live
Yeah.
Forever was the other one. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah. But they've all gone really, really well. And that is a good way of actually introducing you to like a new set of fans as well, really, isn't it?
yeah, I guess so. It is interesting. My gigs, obviously, I have all the people that were with me since day one and following
Yeah.
me along now, and it feels like a little community of people that just, we've all grown up together, really, and we're just kind of you come along and relive your youth. But what's happened is, they're bringing their kids now. I think a lot of that was to do with Big Brother. That ended up. Gathering a few of a younger generation, which is great. And I love it. I absolutely love having them there.
Yeah. Well, it means though that actually that moves everything forward nicely for you. And obviously, you bring your own generations with you now because your son plays with you sometimes as well, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. In fact, in Bath, his band is going to be supporting me.
Ah,
So yeah, so
okay.
look out for Diuma, Diuma. They're a new up and coming band fronted by my little boy.
Yeah.
He's not
Who
so
actually?
little now. He's 20 years old, but
Well, yeah, and yeah, you can't miss him on the stage because people will look at him and go, God, doesn't he look like? Because he does really look like you,
yeah,
doesn't he?
he does. He does. Bless him. I know, poor kid.
But he's had a great start in life because he's grown up surrounded by music, hasn't he?
He
And
has.
music's always because you grew up with music, obviously.
It's like
Because
me. It's the same
yeah,
thing. Guitars propped up in every corner, and like, he's always had a studio to record in. In fact, I've lost my studio. He's in there right now. I can hear drums being played as we talk.
yeah. So we'll have to listen out for the band Duma, and 'cause that's a place in America, isn't it? Duma? And it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know where the name came from, but it's something that that they're keeping close to their chest. But it's yeah, Juma. Maybe it's place. Maybe it's a place. I don't know. Maybe it's an
Yeah.
acronym for something. Who knows?
We will
Kids, eh?
find out when they're world superstars.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll keep that secret.
So how long has this whole tour been kind of been put together for? Because I got the impression that this should have been a while back, and then obviously, as you said, Big Brother happened, and that kind of seemed to throw your plans at the time a little bit.
No, I was funnily enough, I was in the middle of a tour
Right.
when that happened. I had to move a couple of gigs on that last tour, but so it just interrupted. That's all it was. It interrupted my previous tour, which was a year ago now. I can't believe
Wow.
that.
Wow.
So yeah, so then I did the Big Brother thing, and I thought, well, seeing as I interrupted that tour, it was only like 2 or 3 gigs that I had to move. And then we went back and did them anyway.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what? It went so well. It was such fun. And now I feel like the album has had a little time to percolate and get into people's heads a little bit more. So we thought we'd try another one, go up a little bit. It's a little bit more people. I think it's like 600 cap people venues. It's still very
Yeah.
intimate. But it's going to be so fun, it's a total rock and roll night. We really are. We're quite an energetic band, and we just want to kind of people to enjoy it. So I'm bringing out the old classics, including that one,
Of course.
peppering it with a few of the singles from Living Arrows, and then throwing in some bangers here and there. And we got some surprises along the way. So maybe a few secret guests that you may have hinted upon, but we'll see
Uh-huh.
how it all goes.
So yeah, we will say nothing more on that for the moment because otherwise we don't want to ruin the surprise,
Oh, the
really, do
surprise
we?
is gone. Yeah, exactly.
So did you ever though after because obviously you had the success very quickly with the one and only, and I guess people often refer to you as a one hit wonder. You weren't because obviously I'm a Man Not a Boy was also a hit for you, and Secrets of the Heart charted as well, didn't it? I remember
Yeah,
playing
back in
that at the
those
time
days.
as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you kind of after that feel as though you were constantly trying to live up to the expectations that were kind of placed on you around the one and only?
I think it's more that people kind of like the fact that I have that monocle around me. I think that the song itself, the name didn't help in that one. Do you
Well,
know what I mean?
no,
So I
it's
think
true.
I think people like their Chesney Hawkes as a one-hit wonder, and it's kind of like the fact that I'm going around saying, well, actually, on this album there are 4 legitimate radio hits, so means that the one and only wasn't the one and only, and I don't think people like it. Well, we can't have that. That doesn't
Well,
seem right,
well, no,
So-
the thing is, in the Radio DJ's handbook on page 651, it does actually say about, referring to Chesney Hawkes with his one and only,
Exactly.
so you have to be.
Exactly. So I'm trying to break all the rules, Dave. You know what I mean? But I don't mind. It's fun. I have fun with it, and I think it's different these days because I know people. There's a lot of people out there that only know me for one song, and that's totally fair, and I get it. But the truth is, this album has had a lot of success, and it's starting to kind of change some people's opinion of me, and they're in, I've got people interested in coming to see me live, and a lot of people have bought this record, so
Yeah.
I literally am on cloud nine, 35 years after that song, that I'm, still able to put records out. I didn't know what to expect at that age, I guess,
Yeah.
but I'm very, very, I'm humbled by it. I really am.
Well, the thing is, the other side of the coin, of course, is that actually without the one and only, chances are we might not have been having this conversation
No,
today
that's very
anyway.
true. That's true, and that's well, I do say that a lot. I'm so very
Mm,
grateful for it, and
yeah.
that song and I have walked hand in hand since I was 19 years old. And we've had our fallings out, as you could imagine, over the
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
But these days, I mean, I can't help but love playing it because so many people love that record, and it just has has connections with people that are almost nothing to do with me. I hear people saying, people come to me and say, that was the first song that was playing when I met in the club when I met my wife, or it was played at my wedding, or even at funerals and things like that. It's quite amazing that, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty and the power of music. It has that it has that ability to affect people and to take them back to certain points in their life, and so I've kind of come to terms with that, as it were. And now when I play it, it's just the energy is just so great and so fun, because I realize that people love to see me singing that song. So, why not give them what they want? You know what I mean, Dave?
Exactly. Exactly. But of course, we can't, just talk about that because obviously the Living Arrows album, as you say, has done really, really well. Are you surprised by how well it's done, or did you just know that actually songs there were just so good that we couldn't ignore it?
Well, I mean, you never know what to expect. And I have, my previous kind of three albums before that, I put out independently, as I have with this one.
Mm.
But, they didn't do great. I mean, my fan base bought them, but they never kind of like branched out to a new fan base, and they certainly didn't
Yeah.
have Radio One A lists or anything like that. So, I honestly, I didn't put too much on it. Didn't put like too much hope and onto how it might do, and because of that, I've been just surprised and delighted by how people have reacted to it. So it's something else. It really is.
Yeah, and I guess it points in the right direction for you going forward as well. Because obviously, we've got the
Yeah.
tour, and presumably you're still writing and gathering bits and pieces together for whatever comes after Living
I
Arrows.
certainly am. I was with Nick the other day. We've
Hmm.
got a couple of songs on the go. I've already got other songs. So yeah, we're very much into the next album already. You have to do that these days.
Yeah. Well, the industry has changed so much though, just since you
Yeah,
kind of first of all arrived on it, and it's a completely different thing to when I first of all started.
yeah,
For an artist now, it always used to be a case of you would release a couple of singles ahead of the album,
yeah,
and then you tour to promote the album, wouldn't you? And the album sales would be everything that generated everything for you.
yeah.
But now it's kind of the other way around almost, isn't it? It's now like you release an album, then do a tour, but the album is almost there promoting the fact that people can come and see you,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's you're right. You're absolutely. I always say that, back in those days, the finances of the business were everything funneled towards record sales. So you did gigs to promote your records.
Mm.
Nowadays, it's you'd make records to promote your gigs
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's no money in streaming, so which is where most people consume their music. I
yeah.
always say these days, and it's not just for me, but it's for any independent artist. You know, always, if you like a band, you like an artist, no matter how successful they may seem to you, being on TV and all that kind of stuff, or whatever, or if a new young artist, whatever, if you like them, buy their physical records. Go and get their albums. It's 20 quid. You know what I mean? Go get them on vinyl, CD, or whatever they're selling them on, and go see them live, because that's the only way you can help them in their career. There's so many artists and bands that I've known over the years, and I've mentored a lot and written songs for people, and produced artists and stuff like that. And a lot of them have kind of given up, Dave, because there's no money in it.
Yeah.
You can't make a living out of it, unless you're of that level, like you're Ed Sheeran's and Adele's and Harry Styles of the world, Taylor Swift of the world. There's no money in streaming or listening on Spotify or anything
No,
like that. You just don't.
no.
There's no way you can have a million streams and just about have enough for 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. So I
Yeah,
always say,
provided you don't want any change. Yeah.
yeah, and if you
Yeah,
want to support artists, then go and see them live and buy their albums.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
important. It's important, man.
absolutely. So at the Komedia, then people will be able to buy your album, won't they? While they're
They
there.
will. T-shirts, teddy bears, knickers, you name it. I mean it, seriously.
Mind boggles. The mind
It does. It,
absolutely
it always
boggles.
does.
Chesney, it's been an absolute pleasure. Anybody who can't get to see you in Bath in March, you're actually back down this way again then later on in the month, aren't you? Because you're at the Phoenix in Exeter as well. Funny enough,
That's right. That's
yeah,
the final gig of the tour. So if you fancy that one on the 22nd of March, at the Phoenix, it's always a bit of a laugh. On you know what that's like, Dave. On the last day
Oh
of
yeah.
tours, everybody's playing tricks on each other, so anything could happen.
Yes, yes. One of the funniest ones I saw in recent times was funny enough. We were talking before we started this about 60 shows and so on, and Chris Farlow.
Oh, oh
You
yeah, I
probably
know
know Chris.
Chris. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Chris.
lovely guy. Still got an amazing voice, but yeah,
Wonderful voice.
a wonderful voice even now. But he is a bit known backstage for just kind of picking up people's drinks and just kind of wandering off with them. And
He- He's a
Stevie Ellis decided he
yeah.
was going to get his own back on him. At this particular gig, they put the crate of water up on the stage, and before Chris went on, before the curtains opened to the public or anything else, Steve went on, undid them all, and then superglued them shut again. And then Chris, this is on the last night of the tour, and there was Chris trying to open this bottle of water on stage and just looking like a complete buffoon.
I love it. Oh God, that's brilliant. Well, he is a character, Chris. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. There's a million stories about him
Oh yeah.
that ring true, I'm sure. But a brilliant guy, an amazing singer, great artist. You know.
Yeah.
That's the thing
Absolutely.
because I grew up with all of those guys. They're all my dad's friends. I've learned a lot from just being with all of them. You know, and over the years I've stepped in for the old man because
Yes.
as you say, he hasn't been well. And I've stepped in and actually fronted the Tremeloes on many occasions.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Many a long conversation I've had with both your dad and Dave Munden as well, who sadly, of course, is no longer with us, and
Yeah.
also really small as well. But yeah. Well, look, Chesney, absolute pleasure to have you on the show. It was well worth the wait, and I can't wait to actually get you back on when we've got whatever happens next for you, following on from Living Arrows. Because, as I say, the Living Arrows album is just fantastic. It's just an absolutely brilliant album, start to finish.